Hello, welcome to another Midweek Message. I'm Ray. Quick weather report. It's warming up. It really is warming up in the UK now. After all these freezing nights and frost and all the new shoots and buds being killed off, it's actually getting warmer. And Gary the tortoise is outside. We've still got tadpoles in the pond. I've just checked those. They're swimming around. No sign of any legs growing out of them or froggy bits as yet, but it shouldn't be too long. Okay, moving on. Ian's contacted me and he says, how can you miss the good old days, as you call them? Because there were no mobile phones, no computers. Things were so primitive back then. His words, not mine. Well, the thing is, Ian, we didn't miss mobile phones back then because we didn't have them. We didn't miss computers because we didn't have them. In fact, in many ways, it was better without them. We had the landline phone, we had phone boxes. As they say, you don't miss what you haven't had. So, I don't know, I just miss as I've said many times before, I miss the quaint English villages. In fact, next Sunday's podcast episode, I'm going back to the village. You know, remember the village I talked about in an episode a couple of years ago, must be now, Village Life Behind the Facade, Tales of a Parish Councillor, all about the village, Mrs. Fortescue and all that business. Do you remember all that? Well, this coming Sunday, quite a few people have said, what about this village? Can we go back to village life? Especially our listeners in America. I've had quite a few emails from people in America. They want to hear more about the so-called quaint English villages. It's something that the Americans seem to love about the UK. These little villages with the phone box and the little post office, the red letter box. The lanes so narrow that you'd never get an American car down them. Well, not the old 50s and 60s American cars anyway. So yeah, this Sunday's podcast is all about my time in the kind of village watch group. It wasn't neighbourhood watch as we have these days. In fact, the local villagers, they called us the village Vigilantes. We weren't violent, I hasten to add. We weren't vigilantes, but that's what they called us. And I was the security man. How about that? People would contact me and say, could you look at my back door, make sure it's secure enough? And I wonder whether you could check the windows. Mainly older people, but quite a few of the younger people as well. They perhaps just moved into the village. They want me to go and have a look and check up on things. It was, I don't know, it was hilarious. So that's what this Sunday's podcast episode is all about. My time as the security man in the village vigilante group. And I have to say, I met one or two interesting people during my time in the group. It was, I don't know, it was a strange sort of setup. Village life, everyone knows what everyone else is doing. For example, there'd be a local gossip and someone would say, oh, so-and-so's expecting her second child. You've only got to mention that to someone and before you know it, the entire village is round the shop, is round the pub, the local off-licence, the post office. Everyone knows, oh, she's expecting her second child. But there were secrets. I discovered the vicar doing something most untoward, most ungodly. But I'll tell you all about that next Sunday. But it's great. I do love the village life and I really do miss that. If you have any recollections of village life, if you lived in a village or a small town, email me, raisrants@protonmail.com. Be good to hear from you. But I know a lot of people like hearing about my time in the village because it describes the gardens, for example. All the gardens were lovely. People took pride in their gardens. People took pride in the village. You didn't get people chucking litter around back then. You didn't get people just dumping rubbish everywhere. People looked after things. And even if there's a grass verge along the roadside, if someone's mowing their front lawn, they go and attend to the grass verge as well. They plant daffodils, crocus, things like that, snowdrops along the grass verges on the roadside. So come the spring, it looks lovely. People really did take pride in their village. Right, I've waffled enough. Have a listen on Sunday. The village, what have I called it? Village Vigilantes. And I'm the security man. Take care, have a good week, and I shall see you on Sunday. Bye-bye for now.